Thomas's branch line is important, and so is Edward's. They both bring valuable traffic like passengers and goods, but their track and bridges are not so strong as those on the main line. That is why the Fat Controller does not allow the heavier mainline engines such as Gordon and Henry to run on them. If, however, you heard Gordon talking to Edward a short while ago, you would have thought that the Fat Controller had forbidden to run on the branch lines for quite other reason.
Not fair.
What isn't fair?
Letting branch line diesels pull mainline trains.
Never mind, Gordon. I'm sure Boko will let you pull his truck sometimes. That would make it quite fair.
I won't pull Boko's dirty trucks. I won't run on branch lines.
Why not? It would be a nice change.
The Fat Controller would never approve. Branch lines are vulgar.
He puffed away in a dignified manner. Edward chuckled, and he had the right to. Edward used to be like Gordon, the fastest and most modern express engine on the line. He made fun of the old branch line engines like the coffee pots. When those coffee pot engines were forgotten and put into sidings, Edward felt guilty about making fun of them. Soon, he couldn't stand up for himself. All the engines were gradually replaced in the shed, and soon all the engines were bigger than Edward and boasted about it too. He began to feel sad and, well, have less that story goes. Every evening, two fast trains leave the big station within 5 minutes of each other. Gordon's is the 6:25 down the main line, and Edward's is the 6:30 down the Brendan branch. However, Gordon's train left early today. Gordon's new fireman saw something green and floppy waving at the back of the train. "Why away, mate?" However, it was a woman's large green floppy hat waving, but Gordon, his driver and fireman took it as the green flag waving. They started off with not all the passengers and luggage on the train, including the guard. By the time Gordon had been brought back, Edward's train was overdue by 10 minutes. "You've missed your path, Gordon. Now you must clear Edward's train before you can start." Everything should have been put right, but the man at the branch line junction was not informed of the change by controllers Tidmouth. It was very dark by the time the trains reached the junction, which meant the signal man couldn't tell the difference. Edward was mistaken for Gordon and diverted onto the main line, and Gordon was diverted down the Brendan branch, being mistook for Edward. Once the knot was untied by the Fat Controller, Gordon was left and then siding out of the docks. Bill and Ben puffed in and saw him asleep on the siding. Luckily for the twins, Boko wasn't there. Rather unluckily for Gordon.
What's that? Shh! It's Gordon. It looks like it's Gordon, but it can't be. Gordon never comes on branch lines. He thinks them vulgar.
This remark aroused Gordon from his slumber, but didn't open his eyes. He pretended he hadn't heard.
If it isn't Gordon, it's just a pile of old iron, which we should take to the scrapyard. No, Bill, this lot's useless for scrap. We'll take it to the harbour and dump it into the sea.
Stop, please! I am Gordon! Stop, stop!
What seems to be the trouble here?
Boko, my dear engine, save me!
Right. Leave Gordon alone, or I shall take these trucks I brought for you.
Yes, Boko.
Those little demons, how do you do it?
Oh well, it's just a knack.
Edward scolded the twins severely, but told Gordon it served him right. Gordon was furious. A few days later, enthusiasm came. In the last afternoon, they went to the China Clay Works. Edward found it hard to start the heavy train.
I've done it.
Did you see him straining?
Positively painful.
Just pathetic. He should give up and be preserved before it's too late.
Shut up! You're all jealous. Edward's better than any of you. You're right, Duck. Edward's old, but he'll surprise us all.
Green-eyed Gordon.
The cheek of it. I'll have you know we are enterprising engines. Edward is not.
The other engines glared at him, but Gordon thought he had made a point. Edward soon arrived at the docks where he saw Bill and Ben with 2 brake vans. They were planning to take a brake van special with the visitors on board to the quarry and back again. They took the train to the quarry and 2 engines had a wonderful time. It took the visitors back to the dockside and they got on Edward's train. Edward took off and it started well. On the way home, however, the weather changed. Wind and rain buffeted Edward. His sanding gear failed, his wheels slipped, and his fireman rode in the front, dropping sand on the rails hand by hand.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
Panted Edward breathlessly.
Oh, this is dreadful!
But there was worse to come. Before his driver could check them, his wheels slipped fiercely again and again. At Gordon's Hill, there was a shrieking crack!
Ah!
Something broke, and the train came to a stop. The driver, fireman, and guard inspected the damage.
One of your crank pins broke, Edward. Your side rod's been ejected into your running board, and your side is absolutely wrecked.
Repairs took some time.
We've taken your side rods off. Now you are single like an old-fashioned engine. Can you get these people home? They must start back tonight.
I'll try, sir.
They backed down the line to the bottom of the hill. Edward puffed and puffed his hardest, but his wheels kept slipping as the knocks out of the heavy train. The passengers were getting anxious. Driver, fireman, and guard paced up and down until they went along the train to make adjustments between the coaches.
We've loosened the couplings, Edward. Now you can pick up your coaches one by one, just as you do with trucks.
Oh, that'll be much easier.
With the fireman standing carefully in front, the driver gently opened the regulator. Edward's wheels began moving.
Come on!
He moved cautiously forward, ready to take the strain as his tender coupling tightened into the weight of the first coach. It began to move, very slowly. The coach moving helped to start the second, and the second helped the third.
I've done it! I've done it at last!
Steady, boy!
You've got them, boy! You've got them!
Well done! The passengers were thrilled. Most of them had their heads out to the windows. They waved and shouted, cheering Edward on. The Fat Controller paced up and down the platform. Where is Edward? He should have been here 20 minutes ago.
Maybe we should be a bit more patient.
Suddenly, they heard Edward's whistle.
I'm here! I'm here. Yeah.
The Fat Controller stepped angrily forward. He pointed to the clock. The excited passengers swept him aside. They cheered Edward, his driver and fireman to the echo. Before rushing to get into Henry's train, Henry seemed to wait for another storm of cheers, and not before everyone knew Edward's story. His story reached home before he did, of course, but Gordon and James stayed silent thanks to the efforts of Doc and Poker. Poker had to take Edward's trains while he was being built. The last to accept him were Donald and Douglas, in no thanks their iffy pat would be living in Scotland. However, after a few months of hauling their goods, they were heard to say, "For a diesel, young Boco's nae such a bad sort of engine." That's the Caledonian Twins.